In my previous video, we dived into Mauritania and explored what it has to offer in this league. Today, we'll take a closer look at two more regions and see if these are underrated. I'm talking about Fremennik and the Wilderness. But real quick, before we jump in, please give this video a like, and if you find it informative, consider subscribing for more content like this. Alright, let's begin. If you decide to unlock the Fremennik region, the following quests are automatically completed. With these quests unlocked, we have straight access, for example, to the Eva's accumulator, damage books that we can turn into god books with the right pages that we can get from clues, and also access to the lunar spellbook and much more. In terms of achievement diaries, the following are auto-completed. 1 from the easy diaries, 2 from medium, 1 from hard, and 2 from elite. The Fremennik region covers the entire Fremennik province, including the Fremennik Isles, along with the Lunar Isle, Vice, and the underground areas with an entrance in Fremennik. For notable settlements, we have Keldagrim, Gorok Dungeon, Lunar Isle, Miscellanea and etc., Netzinot in Jatizo, Relica, the Island of Stone, the Mountain Camp, the Pirates Cove, Ungael, Waterbird Islands, and Vice. Note that the access to this area requires the completion of the Making Friends with My Arm quest, which will likely be a task. And of course, the following travel options are restricted unless the appropriate region is unlocked. The log shortcut leading to Kandarin north of the Sinclair's mansion, the rubble separating the Fremennik province and the Dead Plateau, the cave entrance in the tunnel leading to Keldagrim that leads to the bottom of the Trollvice mountain, and the Basalt Rock agility shortcut leading from the lighthouse to the Barbarian outpost. For combat related activities in this area, we have the Relica Slayer Cave, where we can find various Slayer monsters like cave crawlers, rock slugs, cockatrices, pyrofiends, basilisks, jellies, and Thurots and Kurasks that drop the leaf-bladed swords and leaf-bladed battle axe. These Slayer monsters offer a great variety of alchables, runes, herbs, and seeds. Also, in this region we have the Waterbird Island dungeon, where we can find Wolowoskis, giant rock crabs, and Dagonots. And speaking of Dagonots, in this cave we can find the Dagonot Kings. These bosses drop the ranged, melee, and magic mid-level rings essential to PvM. From Prime, we can get the Seer's Ring, as well as the Skeletal Top and Bottom, Mud Battle Staff, and Farseer Helmet. From Dagonot Supreme, we can get the Archer's Ring, the Spine Body and Chaps, Circle, and Archer's Helm. And from Rex, we can get the Warrior's Ring or the Berserker Ring, and the Rockshell Plate Body and Legs. Also, from these 3 bosses, we can get the Dragon Axe, a lot of herbs, runes, potions, bones for prayer, clues, and various alchables. I think these bosses are great and definitely worth the time. Also, if you're new to PvM, they are great to train your first prayer flicks. It is also worth mentioning that in this league, like the Calphite Queen, we can also create instances where we can fight these bosses alone. In this region, we also have access to Basilisk Knights that drop Catalytic runes, herbs, but most importantly, the Basilisk Jaw. With this item, you can turn your Helmet of Netzinot into the Netzinot Face Guards, one of my favorite items in the game. You can see that from my YouTube picture. In this region, we also have access to Duke Succulus that drops the Chromium Ingots and the Magus Vestige to create the Magus Ring, the best in slot mage ring in the game right now. It also drops Virtus Robes and the Eye of Duke, one of the 4 pieces to create the Soul Reaper Axe. It's not clear yet if having access to only one Desert 2 boss allows us to get all the 4 pieces to create the axe, but it will be amazing if that was the case. Duke also drops the Frozen Tablets to get the direct teleports to his lair, the Awakener's Orb to get a chance of fighting the Awakened version, and the Ice Quartz combined with the Ancient Scepter to create the Ice Ancient Scepter. And talking about the Ancient Scepter, in this area we also have access to Phantom Muspa that drops the Ancient Icon to create it. It also drops the Venator Shards and Ancient Essence to create the Venator Bow. Also, in this region we have one of my favorite bosses ever, Vorkath. Note that the Fremennik province alone do not provide the means to create Undivenoms. To create them, we need to get access to Zulrah Scales, which only can be obtained if Tiranwin is also unlocked. From this boss, we can get the Dragonbone Necklace, Skeletal Visage to create the Dragonfire Ward, Draconic Visage to create the Dragonfire shields, and the Vorkat's Head to turn our Avis accumulator into an Avis assembler. Alright, now for notable non-combat activities, we have for smithing the Blast Furnace in Keldagrim operated by dwarves. In a great addition, the Ice Gloves will be placed in your bank upon region unlock, and this can be reclaimed at a Sage if lost. For agility, we have the Penguin Agility Course and the Relica Rooftop Course. For runecrafting, we have the Astral Altar. For farming, we have the Vice Herb Patch. And for other notable mentions, we have the Kingdom Management and the Relica House Portal. For notable shops and NPCs, we have Monies and Netzinod that gives us the helmets of Netzinod for 50k. The Battle Gear shop in Relica that sells hammers and all the Barbarian helmets. Baba Yaga's magic shop that sells elemental and Catholic runes. She also sells staffs and the lunar signets for your altar in your POH. We also have the Keldagrim construction shop that sells POH construction items, and the ore store in Jatizo that sells ores. And one important mention, the Blast Furnace ore seller shop is disabled in this league. I think this region have become much more interesting and full of content since the previous years, and I think it shouldn't be underestimated. But I leave it up to you to decide if Fremennik is the region for you. Alright, now let's dive into the most dangerous area in leagues, the wilderness. But first, let's talk about some death changes. The PvP deaths will be treated like PvM deaths, with the lost items moving into a gravestone. The gravestone will be then moved to your respawn location. Also, PvM deaths will be unaffected and loot keys are disabled. Alright, if you decide to unlock the wilderness, the following quests are automatically completed. In terms of achievement diaries, none of the easy diaries are auto-completed, meaning we have to complete them all ourselves. Only one of the medium is auto-completed, 2 from the hard, and 1 from elite. For notable settlements, we have the Bandit Camp, the Dark Warriors Fortress, Ferox Enclave, Magic Arena, Rogue's Castle, and the Pirates Hideout. Restricted to travel, we have the Ditch to Asgarnia and the Lever taking us to Ardogn. For combat-related activities, we have the Wilderness Slayer Cave, where we can fight Ankus, Bandits, Black Demons, Black Dragons, Dust Devils, Greater Demons, Greater Nakraels, Green Dragons, Hellhounds, Ice Giants, Jellies, Lesser Demons, and Abyssal Demons that can drop the Abyssal Web. All these monsters drop alkables, runes, herbs, and seeds, which are great for early game supplies. Also, it's important to mention that the Slayer Master Christelia assigns tasks like all other Slayer Masters, not assigning wilderness-specific tasks. And all Slayer targets defeated within the wilderness will have a chance to drop Laren's keys. With these keys, we can get important supplies and the Dagon High robe pieces. We also can get Elder Chaos robes from the Elder Chaos druids. And this year, we also have the addition of Zombie Pirates. These monsters can give a lot of blighted supplies, as well as the teleport anchoring scroll that upon reading gives us the ability to permanently be immune to teleport attacks by Elder Chaos druids and Abyssal demons. In this region, we also have access to the Revenant Caves, and the 100 coin fee to enter the cave is waived, which can save us a lot of money. Here you can get Revenant Ether, the Amulet of Avarice, Crossbow, Tamaron Scepter, and the Vigorous Chain Mace. These items are dropped by the Revenant inside, and the higher the level of the Revenant, the higher the drop chance. In this region, we also have Callisto and Artio that drop the Mystic Robe top and bottom, and Claws of Callisto to use on the Vigorous Chain Mace to create the Ursine Chain Mace. It also drops the Tyrannical Ring and Voidwaker Hilt, one of the 3 pieces to create a Voidwaker. We have Venenatis and Spindle that drop the Fang of Venenatis to use on the crossbow to create the Web Weaver Bow. It also drops the Tresna's Ring and the Voidwaker Gem. And also we have Vetion and Calvarion that drop the Skull of Vetion to use on the Tamaron Scepter to create the Accursed Scepter. She also drops the Ring of the Gods and the last piece of the Voidwaker, the Voidwaker Blade. Vetion also drops the Mystic Robe top and bottom if you need that for the early game. Also, all these bosses drop in common the Dragon Two-Handed Swords and the Dragon Pickaxe. In this region, we have access to much more bosses like the Chaos Elemental that also drops the Dragon Pickaxe, various rune items, Mystic Staffs, and Dragon items. We have the Chaos Fanatic that drops the Ancient Staff and Odium Shard 1 and Malediction Shard 1 to create the Odium Wards and Malediction Ward. Crazy Archaeologist that dropped the Rune Crossbow, Fedora, Odium Shard 2 and Malediction Shard 2. Scorpia that drops the Mystic Top and Bottom, Dragon Schemy and Two-Handed Swords, and the Odium Shard 3 and Malediction Shard 3 to finally be able to complete the Odium and Malediction Wards. And in this region we have the Corporeal Beast that drops the Spectral, Elysian and Arcane Sigils. These items can be used to create the Spectral Spirit Shields, Elysian Spirit Shields, Arcane Spirit Shields, and Elidenis Ward fortified if you have the desert unlocked. And finally, for bosses in this area, we have the King Black Dragon that drops the Dragon Pickaxe, Draconic Visage, and KBD heads. And for other important combat related activities to mention, Green in Lava Dragon's Great Source of Bones and Hides, the Wilderness God Wars Dungeon where we can find the Dragon Boots from Spiritual Mages, Mage Arena 1 where we can find the 3 God Capes and learn the 3 God Spells, and the Mage Arena 2 where we can get the Imbued God Capes. For non-combat activities in this area we have for rune crafting the Chaos Altar and the Abyss rune crafting, but the altar's access is restricted to their areas. For Hunter we have the Hunting Black Chinchompas and Black Salamanders. For Thieving we have the Rogue's Chests. For Agility we have the Wilderness Agility Course, and the access to this course is free instead of requiring 150k. And for other important mentions we have the Wilderness Resource Area with Dark Crab Fishing, the Chaos Temple for the best prayer training altar in the game with 3.5 times the prayer experience and 50% chance of not consuming the bone, the Fountain of Rune where we can get the Amulets of Eternal Glory, and the Air and Earth Obelisks. For notable shops, in this area we have the Battle Runes and Mage Arena Rune Shop where we can obtain Elemental and Catalytic Runes, the Mage Arena Staff where we can buy the God Staffs, and the Bandit Duty Free that buys items at a higher price than normal. I think the Wilderness has a lot of content and definitely is worth exploring. I know the PvP is a turn-off for a lot of people, but why not? Maybe give it a try. And yeah, with all that in mind, I leave it up to you to decide if the Wilderness is the right region for you. And yeah, that's all the information that I wanted to share with you with this little video. I've summarized the main highlights of these two regions and I hope it helps you in your decision making. If there's anything you'd like to add, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll keep posting more videos about leagues, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.